Picture this. You're scrolling through social media and see a post claiming the Amish are disappearing from America. Maybe you've even shared it yourself. Here's the shocking truth. They're actually one of the fastest growing populations in the country. For over 3 centuries, myths about the Amish have spread faster than facts. From Hollywood movies to reality television shows, misconceptions have shaped how millions of people view this community. Today, we're separating fact from fiction by examining 6 persistent myths that simply refuse to die. Myth 1. The Amish are slowly dying out. Let's start with perhaps the most ironic myth of all. For decades, sociologists and journalists have predicted the inevitable extinction of the Amish. In the 1950s, experts confidently declared they would disappear within a generation. The 1970s brought similar prophecies of doom. The reality couldn't be more different. The Amish population has doubled every 20 years since 1900. From roughly 5,000 people at the start of the 20th century, they now number over 380,000 across 32 states and 3 countries. Their birth rate averages 7 children per family, with retention rates exceeding 85%. Ohio alone hosts more than 80,000 Amish residents, while Pennsylvania claims over 90,000. New communities emerge annually in states like Montana, Colorado, and even Maine. Rather than fading away, the Amish represent one of America's most remarkable demographic success stories. Myth 2. The Amish are technophobes. Walk into an Amish business and you might be surprised by what you find. Solar panels powering workshops, hydraulic systems operating heavy machinery, computer terminals processing customer orders. This doesn't match the common image of people who reject all modern technology. The truth is far more nuanced. The Amish don't blanket reject technology. They carefully evaluate each innovation based on community impact. Their decision-making process involves church leaders, business owners, and community members weighing potential benefits against social costs. Take telecommunications as an example. While most Amish avoid personal cell phones, many businesses maintain landlines and even limited internet access for essential communications. Farmers use modern equipment like milking machines and refrigeration systems, but typically avoid tractors with rubber tires, preferring steel wheels that prevent easy road travel. Construction crews employ pneumatic tools powered by compressed air rather than electricity. Furniture makers use sophisticated woodworking equipment, but power it through alternative means. The pattern reveals a community that embraces beneficial technology while maintaining boundaries that preserve their social fabric. This selective adoption demonstrates wisdom, not fear of progress. Myth 3. The Amish don't pay taxes or vote. Perhaps no myth about the Amish is more financially motivated than this one. The idea that they operate outside America's tax system appeals to anyone who's ever struggled with their tax bill. Unfortunately for the rest of us, it's completely false. The Amish pay property taxes on their homes, businesses, and farmland. They pay sales taxes on purchases. They pay income taxes on their earnings, whether from farming, construction, or the thousands of businesses they operate. State and federal tax records clearly document their compliance with revenue requirements. The confusion stems from specific exemptions they've received, most notably regarding Social Security. Because the Amish provide their own elderly care and disability support through community funds, they received an exemption from Social Security taxes in 1965. However, this represents their only major federal tax exemption. Regarding voting, participation varies by community and individual conscience. Many Amish do vote, particularly in local elections affecting their immediate interests. School board elections, township meetings, and local referendums often see significant Amish participation. They tend to avoid national politics more than local governance. Tax assessors, county clerks, and IRS records all confirm the Amish meet their obligations as American citizens. Their reputation for honesty extends to their financial dealings with government entities, making them model taxpayers rather than tax avoiders. Myth 4. Amish elders. Arranged marriages. Hollywood loves the arranged marriage storyline, and the Amish provide a perfect backdrop for such drama. Reality television has reinforced this misconception. depicting stern elders pairing young people like chess pieces. The actual Amish courtship process tells a completely different story. Amish young people enjoy remarkable freedom in choosing their partners. Dating typically begins around age 16, with youth attending Sunday evening singings, barn parties, and community gatherings. These social events provide opportunities to meet potential partners from their own and neighboring communities. The process resembles mainstream American dating more than arranged marriages. Young men ask young women to accompany them home from social events, beginning relationships that may last months or years. Couples often date privately, with parents respecting their privacy and choices. Family involvement differs significantly from arrangement. Parents may offer advice or express concerns about compatibility, but they don't select partners for their children. Church leaders play no role in matchmaking, focusing instead on spiritual guidance and community welfare. Marriage proposals happen between couples, not through family negotiations. Wedding planning involves both families, but the decision to marry remains entirely with the young people involved. Divorce rates among the Amish remain extremely low, but this reflects community support and shared values rather than forced unions. The myth likely persists because Amish courtship appears more formal than contemporary American dating. Chaperoned activities and family involvement seem restrictive to outsiders, but they actually provide support systems that strengthen relationships rather than dictate them. Statistical evidence supports this reality. Amish marriages show high satisfaction rates and remarkable longevity. Myth 5, because they refuse to cooperate with police, and Amish Mafia protects them. Television shows like Amish Mafia have created one of the most damaging myths about this peaceful community. The idea that shadowy enforcers protect Amish communities through intimidation and violence represents everything the Amish actually oppose. Law enforcement officials who work with Amish communities daily can attest to how thoroughly false this portrayal really is. The Amish maintain cooperative relationships with police departments across the country. When crimes occur, they report incidents and provide testimony when required. Their commitment to nonviolence means they rely on legal authorities rather than taking justice into their own hands. Lancaster County Sheriff's Department records show consistent Amish cooperation in criminal investigations. When theft, vandalism, or more serious crimes affect their communities, Amish victims work with detectives and prosecutors. They appear in court when necessary, though they prefer restorative justice approaches when possible. The confusion may stem from their approach to minor disputes. Amish communities handle many internal conflicts through church discipline and community mediation, rather than immediately involving outside authorities. This preference for internal resolution doesn't indicate non-cooperation with law enforcement. It reflects their values of forgiveness and community harmony. Drug investigations have revealed some of the strongest police Amish cooperation. When illegal substances infiltrate their communities, Amish leaders actively assist law enforcement in identifying and addressing problems. They understand that drug activity threatens their young people and community safety. Police chiefs in Amish-heavy regions consistently praise the community's law-abiding nature and willingness to assist investigations. Detective reports, court records, and prosecutor statements all contradict the media-created image of an insular community that handles problems through vigilante justice. The Amish Mafia concept represents pure fiction designed for entertainment value. Reality shows how a truly peaceful community actually interacts with legal authorities through honest cooperation, respect for law, and commitment to justice achieved through proper channels. Myth 6. Rumspringa is a wild time when teens live in cities. No Amish tradition has been more sensationalized or misunderstood than Rumspringa. Popular media portrays it as a period when Amish teenagers abandon their communities to experience wild city life, complete with drugs, alcohol, and promiscuous behavior. This dramatic narrative sells entertainment, but it bears little resemblance to the actual experience of most Amish youth. Rumspringa, which translates to running around, typically begins around age 16 and continues until marriage or church baptism. Rather than being a sanctioned period of rebellion, it represents a time when young people experience slightly more freedom while remaining firmly rooted in their communities and families. The geographical reality contradicts the urban adventure myth entirely. Studies show that over 90% of Amish youth never leave their home communities during Rumspringa. They continue living with their parents, working in family businesses or local employment, and participating in community life. Their running around happens within familiar boundaries, not in distant cities. Social activities during this period might include attending barn parties, participating in youth groups, and dating. Some young people may experiment with contemporary clothing, attend movies, or listen to popular music. A small minority might try alcohol or engage in other activities their parents discourage. However, the vast majority maintain the values and behaviors they learned throughout childhood. The myth likely originated from isolated incidents involving a tiny percentage of Amish youth who do venture beyond their communities. Media attention focused on these exceptional cases while ignoring the typical Rumspringa experience. Sensational stories about Amish teenagers in cities make compelling television, but they don't represent normal patterns. Research conducted by sociologists and anthropologists reveals that most Amish young people use Rumspringa to strengthen their connection to community rather than explore alternatives. They attend youth singings, participate in church activities, and begin serious courtship relationships. The period serves as a bridge between childhood and adult membership in the church community. The retention statistics tell the real story. Between 85 and 95% of Amish youth choose baptism and lifelong commitment to their communities. This remarkable retention rate suggests that Rumspringa functions exactly as intended, providing young people with enough freedom to make informed decisions about their futures while maintaining strong community ties. Rather than being a time of urban rebellion, Rumspringa represents a carefully balanced approach to youth development that most communities might envy. Why these myths persist. Understanding why these myths refuse to die reveals important truths about how we process information about unfamiliar cultures. The Amish lifestyle appears so different from mainstream American experience that people struggle to understand the reality behind the differences. Media representation plays a crucial role in perpetuating misconceptions. Reality television shows prioritize drama over accuracy, creating fictional narratives that stick in viewers' minds more effectively than factual documentaries. Hollywood movies need conflict and tension, so they exaggerate differences and invent problems that don't exist in real Amish communities. Limited direct contact between most Americans and Amish communities creates an information vacuum that myths rush to fill. When people lack personal experience with a group, they rely on secondhand sources that may prioritize entertainment over education. Commercial exploitation of Amish stereotypes also contributes to myth persistence. Tourism, industries, entertainment companies, and even some publishers benefit financially from maintaining mysterious or dramatic images of Amish life. Accurate portrayals seem less marketable than sensationalized versions. Human psychology favors simple explanations over complex realities. The nuanced truth about Amish technology use, for example, requires more mental effort to understand than the simple "they reject all modern conveniences" stereotype. The reality behind the myths. Behind these persistent myths lies a community that has successfully balanced tradition with adaptation for over 3 centuries. The Amish approach major decisions through careful community deliberation, weighing long-term consequences against short-term benefits. This process has enabled them to preserve core values while adapting to changing circumstances. Their economic success demonstrates practical wisdom rather than stubborn traditionalism. Amish businesses achieve failure rates significantly lower than national averages, partly because community support systems reduce individual risk. From furniture making to construction, agriculture to retail operations, they've built thriving enterprises that contribute billions to local economies. Educational approaches reflect their priorities clearly. While formal schooling typically ends at 8th grade, learning continues through apprenticeships, vocational training, and hands-on experience. This system produces skilled craftspeople, successful business owners, and community leaders who navigate modern challenges effectively. The relationship between individual choice and community welfare defines much of Amish life. Young people do make personal decisions about careers, marriage partners, and life directions. However, These choices occur within a framework that considers community impact alongside individual desires. Their approach to technology adoption reveals sophisticated decision-making processes. Rather than blanket acceptance or rejection, they evaluate each innovation based on its potential to strengthen or weaken community bonds. Lessons for understanding any community. The persistence of Amish myths offers valuable lessons about approaching any unfamiliar culture or community. First, complexity rarely translates well into simple narratives. When we encounter different ways of living, our instinct to categorize and simplify often leads to misunderstanding. Media literacy becomes crucial in our information-saturated world. Entertainment value and